The first time I saw the Empress of Lethra, she appeared as a shimmer in the air, like heat bending desert horizons, before resolving into a shape that no human mind was ever meant to fully parse. Yet I stood before her, a lone ambassador of Earth, inside the crystalline throne hall of the Letherian flagship. It hovered above Europa's ice plains like a silent god, its hull pulsing with colors that corresponded not to visible light, but to emotional frequencies. I had spent 6 years preparing for this moment. 4 in diplomatic training, 2 embedded among Letherian envoys who studied our species the way botanists study orchids, curiously, gently, but with limitless detachment. They had taught me bits of their language, a symphony of tones and vibrations produced not by vocal cords but by resonating inner organs. Even after years, I could barely form a simple greeting without sounding like a malfunctioning engine. But the Empress was different. Rumor claimed she studied humans personally, that she understood us. Still, nothing prepared me for the silence that fell when she finally materialized. The chamber brightened as if the walls themselves inhaled. She towered over me, but her presence was calming rather than oppressive. She had no face in the human sense, no eyes, no mouth, yet I felt watched, understood. I was the messenger responsible for delivering Earth's plea for mercy, because Earth was dying. Letherian mining vessels had drilled straight into the mantle under the Pacific. An accident, they'd claimed, destabilizing fault lines, poisoning ocean currents, fracturing our weather systems. Their technology exceeded our ability to retaliate, negotiate, or even comprehend what they considered minor extraction operations. We were insects tugging on an elephant's tail, hoping it might notice before it crushed us beneath its feet. And I was our final attempt at being noticed. The beginning, a voice in the vast silence. A Letherian steward gestured for me to approach the Empress. The floor rippled beneath my boots like warm metal flowing around magnets. I swallowed hard, rehearsing my speech one final time. "Your Radiance," I began, my voice small within the vast chamber. "I speak on behalf of Earth, on behalf of the billions who suffer." Her body shifted, fractal limbs rearranging in fluid spirals. She made a soft chiming sound that translated through the hall's ambient interpreter system. "Speak your truth, emissary." The words weren't heard so much as felt, like a warm hand pressed against my chest. I steadied my breath. Earth cannot endure the Letherian drills. The damage is irreversible unless your fleets reverse the process. We beg for your intervention, for your compassion. A flutter of luminescent scales drifted from her form, dissolving before they hit the floor, a sign of contemplation. Then she asked, "Why should a starfaring empire bend to the needs of humans, who have barely learned to leave their cradle?" Her question pierced me. Simple, logical, merciless. Why should she care? I could have recited our diplomatic briefings, cited interstellar accords, pleaded for moral responsibility. Instead, emotion overtook strategy. "Because we're trying," I said. "Because despite our violence and our mistakes and our endless flaws, we're trying to become something better. We learn from every encounter with the cosmos. We look up at the stars not with conquest, but with awe. And when your mining vessels wounded our world, we didn't launch missiles. We asked to talk. Doesn't that show something? Doesn't that mean we're worth letting live?" Silence followed, deep, resonant, immeasurable. Inside it, I imagined my species collapsing under rising oceans and lethal storms. I imagined my parents in the coastal evacuation zones, my siblings rationing water, the world shrinking into pockets of survivable land. I imagined failure. But then the Empress moved again. She drifted closer, her form casting soft, iridescent shadows across my face. One limb extended toward me, haloed in faint violet. "Your words reached me, human," she said gently, "and I hear the tremor of truth within them." Something shifted in the air, like gravity losing its grip. The middle, a bargain of hope and peril. "Are you saying," I whispered, hardly daring hope, "that you'll help us?" "Help is a vast word," she replied. "Assistance can change the course of civilizations, and not always for their good." Her limb brushed the air above my head, and suddenly I saw visions. Earth from orbit, oceans boiling under geothermal eruptions, forests shriveling into gray deserts, cities swallowed by boiling storms, humanity clinging to remnants of civilization like barnacles to sinking steel. Then the vision shifted. Letherian technology healing the fractures beneath the Pacific. Atmospheric stabilizers reversing the chain reactions. Species returning. Oceans clearing. Storms softening. Earth reborn. But along with healing came something else. Dependence. "If we save you," the Empress said, "humanity may become reliant, dependent, subservient. And if you don't save us," I said, "we won't exist at all." Her crystalline limbs folded inward. "You speak from a place of desperation. That too carries truth. But tell me this, emissary. If your world survives, what will humanity become? A student of the stars? Or another empire that claws across the void?" Hard question. One that deserved truth, not flattery. "We don't know," I admitted. "But we want to choose the better path. Let us prove that choice." She shimmered with a warm, golden pulse. Recognition, perhaps even approval. "Very well. Except..." The chamber brightened. The walls hummed with sudden life. "I will order the reclamation protocol. The wounds to your world will be sealed. But humanity will owe the Letherian Empire a vow of future harmony. One generation of guidance under our watch. No weapons beyond your atmosphere. No attempts at reverse engineering our technology. In exchange, your planet will live, and so will you. A vassal state. Protected world. Hope with a cost. But hope nonetheless." "Agree," I said. "Earth agrees. Then the vow is sealed. A new dawn for two worlds." The Empress dissolved slowly, her form fading back into iridescent mist. Before disappearing fully, she spoke once more. "Remember, human emissary, your people asked not to survive but to become better. Do not forget the promise hidden in your plea." And then she was gone. Letherian vessels left Europa within hours, diving through a tear in space-time that left the sky rippling. A second fleet arrived at Earth 3 days later, not armed with drills, but with devices that resembled floating gardens of light. They descended into oceans, tectonic plates, atmospheric strata. Within months, the Pacific calmed. Within a year, global weather stabilized. Within 3 years, coral reefs resurged like reborn cities. Humanity survived. But so did our vow. We lived under Letherian observation, not as slaves nor equals, but as apprentices of a far older civilization. And over time we learned. Not just science but philosophy. Not just technology but restraint. Some resisted. Some celebrated. Most simply adapted, grateful to live in a world no longer dying. As for me, I returned home hailed as Earth's ambassador of peace, with the Empress's final words echoing in my mind. "Your words reached me and I accept." I often wondered if she had accepted my plea, or my hope for what humanity could become. But every time I watched the skies shimmer with Letherian light, I believed, truly, that her soft reply had changed not only everything, but the very direction of our future.